everyone, welcome to JustFeg Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information on things happening around the world, and you are in the right place. Please click the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon next to it so you can be notified for an update on any published news. Electricity supply to improve as presidency makes crucial announcements in power sector. The presidency says there will be critical upgrade interventions in the transmission and distribution segments of the power sector. The Nigerian government explains that in partnership with Siemens, it would increase the operational grid capacity to 11,000 megawatts over the next few years. The presidency says the implementation agreement for the roadmap was signed on July 22, 2019, in a ceremony presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Electricity supply in the country may soon improve following the plan by the federal government to increase the operational grid capacity to 11,000 megawatts. The presidency on Monday, October 21st, tweeted that there will be a critical upgrade of interventions in the transmission and distribution segments of the power sector, developed by the federal government in partnership with Siemens. According to the statement, the agreement would lead to an increase in the operational grid capacity to 11,000 megawatts over the next few years. The presidency explained that the implementation agreement for the roadmap was signed on July 22, 2019 in a ceremony presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Nigeria Electrification Roadmap is a set of critical upgrade interventions in the transmission and distribution segments of the power sector, developed by Nigerian government in partnership with Siemens to increase operational grid capacity to 11,000 megawatts over the next few years. The tweet read in part. The federal government also gave unfolding timeline of the transformational roadmap as follows. Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the federal government has spent 1.5 trillion naira on the power sector in the past 2 years. The Cable reports that Osinbajo said this on Tuesday, September 24, at the Kanji hydropower plant in Niger Delta. The Vice President, who was represented by the Ministers of Power, Salem Momam, further said the government is putting in place policy reforms that will ensure that Nigeria have access to affordable electricity. So guys, what is your take about this news on the new policy that Mr. President said that is going to increase the operational grid capacity to 11,000 megawatts over the next few years? Obviously, they have been saying this for a long time ago, and there was nothing they did about it. And for so long now, Nigerians have been experiencing bad electricity in the country. And obviously, I know that most of all the leaders, they don't even have a clinch of any ideas about how difficult it is to be in the darkness. So probably they don't really know the weight of what they are really saying because they are not in that position at all. Most of them, they enjoy everything. Talk about the electricity, talk about the road. Most of them, they are always on the air. Most of them, you will never see them driving on this or bad road. So many of them, they don't even know the value of it. They don't really know the weight, not even the value. They don't know the weight that it carries to be in the darkness. They don't know the weight for someone to be in the darkness, for someone to be at risk. Trust me. And Nigerians has been suffering a long time ago about this battery, electricity and all that. And still, they didn't do anything about this. I hope Mr. President is going to make a huge impact because he said it now. And you can imagine Mr. Muhammadu Buhari said different thing, and his vice president said another thing. You can imagine that. They said the vice president make some announcements on the September 24th about this the electricity whatever, and he said they spent 1.5 trillion on the power sector in the past 2 years. So obviously the president and the vice president, they are contradicting themselves. They are contradicting themselves. So guys, what is your take about this news? Kindly drop your comments below, click on the subscription button, and also press the bell icon to get updates whenever I upload videos.